Kenya Ports Authority and Kenya Revenue Authority will not accept containers into the port if not declared and logged into the ICMS custom systems and Kilindini Waterfront Automated Terminal Operation System, otherwise known as QATOS, at the point of acceptance. Declaration into these systems must be made at the point of acceptance and approval granted. 2, it was resolved that perishable goods verification by regulatory agencies, for example, such as the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Services, KEFIS, KEFIS's Port Health and HCDA, should be done at the point of loading and permit approvals granted in the single window system to facilitate track and tracing mechanism. I'll repeat that because of how I read can be a bit confusing. It was resolved that the perishable goods verification by regulatory agencies such as KEFIS, Port Health, and HCDA should be done at the point of loading and permit approvals granted in the single window system to facilitate track and tracing mechanism. Number 3, Kenya Ports Authority will communicate and enforce 24 hours cut-off acceptance time for fresh produce exporters. Number 4, all government agencies involved in port operations as well as exporters will undertake to achieve 24-hour port operations. Number 5, government to consider options of increasing scanners and equipment, including outsourcing, to enable its agencies to focus on world-class service delivery. Number 6, as part of enhancing government agencies' collaboration, port users community will be expanded to include exporters and Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry. There are people we are targeting exporters. The emphasis on this statement, if you look at it carefully, is targeting on exporters. Export of goods have been delayed because of these bureaucracies. And we want to make sure that the port itself is facilitating this kind of business so that then we become, the port alone is not, if you talk about the KPA is not KPA alone. KPA as a facility also houses other agencies that are facilitating clearance of goods. And you had KEFIS, HCDA, you heard about Port Health, and all these agencies. So we are targeting 2 sets of people. 1, the agencies that are clearing the goods and facilitating trade must be able to work seamlessly and together in the manner in which indicated in the statement. Number 2, we are targeting to facilitate exports so that then the ease of doing business. The ease of doing business before has always been about imports. A lot was about facilitating imports. But if you see this conversation we are having here, and I want to thank my colleague from Ministry of Trade and Industry, their suggestions and their leadership on this issue was focused on facilitating exporters. And those are the people we are targeting. I just don't know if Moses knows whether you are an exporter or not.
I don't know whether I target.
Yenye tungependa kusema tu kusisitiza ni kwamba tulipoteua mwenyekiti mpya wa board ya Mombasa ya KPA na mkurugenzi mpya Bwana Ruto, tuliwapatia jukumu ya kuhakikisha kwamba jinsi ya kufanya biashara hapa lazima ibadilike, na nia yetu ni kuhakikisha kwamba utendaji kazi hapa imebadilika. Tuko na nia ya kuhakikisha kwamba kwa miaka 3 inayokuja KPA ikuwe tayari imefanya biashara ya port iende juu kutoka ile tunasema 1.5 million TUs wakati huu. Ifikapo mwisho wa mwaka huu tunataka wakuwe wamefika 1.6 na kwa miaka mitatu wakuwe wamefika TUs milioni 2 kuhakikisha kwamba biashara inatendeka vizuri. Hizi zote ambazo hizi vitu vyote ambavyo tumewaambia inalenga kuhakikisha kwamba sisi tunafanya kazi kwa haraka. Wakati meli itakapotia nanga hapa, tunataka kwa masaa 48 ikuwe imeondoka, kwa sababu hivi sasa ikifika chini ya masaa 24 itakuwa imeondoka, lakini sasa kwa sababu ya itakuwa imetoa mzigo yote, lakini shida ni kwamba kuwekelea mzigo inachukua muda mrefu. Sisi tunataka kuhakikisha kwa siku 2 itakuwa imemalizwa na hiyo kazi imeisha, ili tuhakikishe kwamba bandari yetu ikuwe ni moja ya bandari ambayo inapendeza sana katika sehemu hii ya Afrika, ili watu wengi walete biashara kukuja hapa wakijua kwamba ukilete mzigo yako hapa bandari ya Mombasa ama baadaye bandari ya Lamu, wataona kwamba tunafanya kazi kwa haraka. Na mimi niko na imani kwa uongozi wa bandari ikiongozwa na mwenyekiti na mkurugenzi, kwa kazi ambayo wanafanya tutabadilisha jinsi ambavyo biashara inafanywa katika port hii. Kwa hivyo nashukuru ndugu yangu Waziri Kuria, na sisi kama sekta ya transport tunajua kwamba tunasaidia sekta zote. Jana mlikuwa na naibu wa rais akikuja kuhakikisha kwamba mambo ya mafuta imeendelea vizuri. Tunataka pia tushikane, mlikuwa hapo awali tulikuwa na watu wa agriculture, lakini kwa karibu sana kazi yetu inalingana na ile yenye iko katika wizara ya biashara. Na unaona special economic zone na mambo mengine mengi tutafanya pamoja, na utatuona tukiendelea kufanya kazi namna hii, tukiwaambia Wakenya kwamba serikali ni moja na lazima tuonyeshe jinsi ambavyo tunafanya kazi, tuonyeshe umoja ambao mmeona leo tukifanya hapa na Waziri Kuria na hapo awali na Waziri Mvurya. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.
Fast track inclusion of other agencies in the operations of the authorized economic operators and pre-arrival processing of cargo framework to enable faster cargo clearance at the ports. Number 8, it was agreed that a reporting and escalation framework mechanism will be worked on between KPA, Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry in the quarters system. And let me add there also KRA will be part of that escalation framework. Number 9, the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry and KRA will look at the green channel requirements for exporters with a view of encouraging compliance for ease of exports and facilitation of trade. Number 10, KRA has committed to open customs office in Tanzania to mirror Uganda and enhance customs before border points at Moyale. This will be followed by interministerial visit of Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania and Ethiopia ministers to the border points. Number 11, we have agreed to streamline and introduce a bonded customs warehouse for imported used vehicles inspection, so that we are able to fast track and also enhance revenue collection. And finally, number 12, we've agreed to work together for a zero long stay container policy. I repeat, we will all work together towards a zero long stay containers policy. We expect to have 0 containers lying idle at the port of Mombasa at any one point. That's our statement signed by myself, Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, and on behalf of Cabinet Secretary National Treasury by Anthony Mwaura, the Chairman of the Kenya Revenue Authority. Thank you. Ease of doing business, that is it. It must be very easy for anyone to export goods through the port of Mombasa. It must be very easy for anyone to import goods through the port of Mombasa. And it must also do that within a framework that maximizes on revenue collection by the Kenya Revenue Authority. Huh? Maybe you.
Nobody? What did he say? Nobody what? Targeting.
You're targeting nobody.
Targeting.
That right now, it takes a shorter period of time to offload cargo coming from outside into the port of Mombasa. I think it takes up to 18 hours maximum to offload incoming cargo. But it takes up to 3 days to load
72
cargo,
hours.
72 hours. You know, to load cargo that is going out. Any cargo going out is for the benefit of people of Kenya. This is finding its way. No wonder that we are a country that is becoming more and more about imports and less about exports. And I think that difference between 18 hours and 72 hours really shows why when we say our exports to GDP ratio has shrunk from 30% to from 28% to 10%, is because even our processes are more facilitative of imports than they are of exports.
Yeah. Now you can share the statement. Yes.